We were given the task to look at gender roles in Hollywood films, so here it goes.
In the trailer of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, it is clear that the men are noticeably more present and have far more screen time than women. Never mind the fact that there are 6 women compared to 4 men.
In the beginning, there are about 6 different cuts, and only one had women in it. Undoubtedly, women are obscured by the men, but when a woman is in the shot, it's considerably quicker.
Given the setting, you'd expect the students to be in their traditional uniform, but they're not. This only opens up the opportunity for sexualized costumes for the females, but there isn't.
It just consists of casual jeans and hoodies. This does not sexualize a single character and doesn't make any female characters appear to be inferior. The positioning of the characters also convey this. Of course, Harry would be conveyed to be the most important, but in general, you could argue that men get more attention than females. Every so often, Hermione is featured, but is placed behind the men or in the middle of Harry and Ron.
Yeah, there are other times where Hermione actually pushes Ron behind her in a protective manner, showing her authoritative nature.
Also, we see Ginny being pulled back at the end of the trailer. It looks like there is a hold over her, but her attitude shows courage or bravery, a trait usually associated to male characters.
As a result, female behavior in this is atypical. Since they're physically fighting, they're not acting girly nor in an elegant manner, as well as not looking typically feminine.
What is typical is that you only had the men talking and setting the storyline. This therefore displays males as the most important characters. Their voices are significant to the story. On the other hand, the females are just there in the background.
Moreover, the props are universally gender neutral. Nothing is hypersexualized for women, but in fact, they look pretty much the same. For example, the wands.
Now we're going to look at the trailer for Suicide Squad, a film that could potentially have one of the best storylines ever.
So let's start with the men. They're shown to be your stereotypical guys. They're bulky, strong, and in this case, dangerous.
You can infer this from their costumes. All the guys have bulky costumes, average gel clothes, or barely any, which is pretty typical. You've got it in Magic Mike to Batman.
The positioning also conveys these male characters to be authoritative, considering the low angle, shallow focuses, and long shots have all been in favour of the men.
Notice how here, the shallow focus blurs out one of the best characters in history to draw attention to them.
Dialogue further emphasizes the authority placed in these characters. For example, Will Smith's character states,
"Let's go save the world."
The word go is an imperative, a command word in this context, which therefore shows him to be the person of power.
And what conveys power more than your average manly actions like
Punching a punching bag,
having a cocky swagger when they walk,
or even firing a gun.
Speaking of firing a gun, this prop is literally so typical, it makes me laugh. The ladies, on the other hand, are very interesting. The approximate time for females in this is 1 minute 10 seconds, which is less than the males.
But this is an improvement on major Hollywood films, since females don't often get as much screen time.
Like the Captain America trailer that was recently released. The trailer was 2 minutes long, and less than 10 seconds in it actually had females. Now, you could say that it is because it's Captain America film, so it's about him.
But that doesn't explain why Sam, Tony, Bucky, and even Black Panther, whose film isn't even out until 2018, had more screen time than the female characters.
Going back to the topic, the costumes. These are very important to them. If you look at Cara Delevingne's costume, it's not your average, ridiculously revealing costume. Harley Quinn, on the other hand, is literally walking about in a pair of undies and fishnet tights.
Naturally, you'd expect Harley to be the whimsical character, but this is not the case. Harley is shown to be more dangerous and more authoritative. She gets the most screen time out of all the female characters, and in this, is positioned to a similar way the men are.
Her prop, the baseball bat, can just convey the idea of how dangerous she is.
While people have guns or samurai swords, she has a baseball bat.
This is probably the most violent weapons featured in this film, since if she was going to kill someone, she's going to have to physically beat them.
This will have to be for someone with a lack of care, which Harley has illustrated through her dialogue.
Overall, her comments are snarky and considered as playful despite the serious situation that she finds herself in.
You know what they say about the crazy ones?
Huh? Are you the devil? I hope you got insurance.
Moreover, she is directly involved with the action, but still holds on to her feminine traits, which is a running theme in this trailer.
There is also the issue of gender bias. People may see Harley and think, oh, slut, because of her clothes she's wearing.
But she was actually covered up more than Will Smith in this scene.
This has been shown through Panttene's advert that directly speaks out about this.
The guy is labelled as a boss, while the female bossy.
Here, the man is persuasive, but the woman is pushy.
And here, they're doing the same thing, and yet, you guessed it, the woman is described negatively.